Six affordable businesses that make 30K monthly. Hey gang, this is Mike with Mr. NoFluff.com, and today I'm going to talk about six businesses that I had personally started with, okay, with just $100 that made $30,000 a month. So unlike other YouTubers that maybe read something and are doing a recap, this is my personal experience. So these six businesses I've actually launched myself, and some of them I've actually helped other students launch, my students launch. So let's dive in. Number one, a moving company. Yes, you heard me right. You can make millions and millions of dollars per year by owning a moving company. Right out of college, living in my car, I started a moving company with just $100. You heard me right. The way I did it is that I went to the apartment complexes and used their business center, and I printed free flyers. Okay, I took a normal sheet of paper and I put small business cards ads on it, and I got maybe like on a one sheet of paper, maybe like 12 different ads, and I would print out as much as I can and go to the next apartment complex and go to the next apartment complex. And yes, I didn't do the right thing, but I was just starting out. I lived in my car. Instead of getting a handout from Big Brother, what I did is use creativity. And once I print out these flyers, I would go in and put it in the mailboxes of the apartment complexes, not inside of the mail, but at the mail center, right where the trash cans are, or right above the mailboxes. Okay, and I would tape it up there, and then people would call me. And that was one way that I was able to start my moving company. And I also did search engine optimization back in the 1990s, late 2000s, early 2000s, excuse me, um, where Yahoo was king and no one knew what search engine optimization was. So I was able to start a moving company with just $100 through just lead generation. And when the leads came in, I first started off by outsourcing out the jobs to other people. Okay. And I took a little profit. Then from there, I went into just renting my own equipment and doing the moves myself. And then from there, I went to just let me buy my first truck. And then I started making more money. I buy my second truck. In a matter of just 3 years, I was able to have four locations: Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, and Fort Worth, Texas. And I was making tremendous amount of money at each location. So that was the first business that I was able to make at least 30K a month. In matter of months. That's because I had significant lead production, and I wanted to share with you. Now let's talk about the second business that's very affordable, and anyone can easily make 30K a month if they're willing to put the effort into it, which is a mobile personal training business. Now, the way I got into this business is right out of high school. I was in high school, um, my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. I started getting into working out, and I started training other people. And then I needed money, so once again, what I did is I went to the apartment complexes. Again, I was just in high school, I was broke, and I printed out flyers and I put it in the mailboxes. Now, if you look back, I used the same exact skills for my moving company that I retained from my mobile personal training business, because I used the same exact philosophy. I went and printed flyers at the apartment complexes. I distributed, people called me, and then I provided them a free consultation, which then I learned sales and I learned how to close 9 out of 10 deals by giving people value and educating them at the free personal training sessions. And what I would do is I would package up like 6 sessions for $300, 12 sessions, 24 sessions. And basically, as a high school kid, I was selling people that were like 26, 30 years old with careers, and even older, on packages, and they would have to pay me all up front before I even took the job. So a mobile personal training business is very, very good because it requires no money, just a little marketing, a little foot action. And the great thing is, I didn't even need the equipment because I was using the apartment complexes equipment, okay? Because most apartment complexes have a gym facility, okay? Sorry for my kids, guys. I'm out here with my kids. They're out here having a great time. They're building sand castles, and I'm doing these videos for you. So, anyways, if you're wondering what that noise was, now again, to recap, the mobile personal training business is great because I didn't need I didn't need the equipment. I didn't need the gyms because all the nice apartments that were I was targeting with my flyers were higher end because they're only higher end people could afford personal trainers, and then those apartments had amazing gyms. So I just went and trained people at their own apartment complexes. And again, I didn't need any infrastructure. A certification costs very low. You can get a certification for like personal trainers for like 100, $150. You can go work at a gym. They'll even pay for you to get certified. Or if you work out yourself, you know a lot about it. For me, I worked out a whole lot, so I knew a whole lot about it. I was reading books. I was going through school, and I read every book and Bible supplement. So I had great understanding because I worked out 6, 7 days a week for a long period of time, and I was also certified. And I went and got certified. Okay, but in the beginning, I wasn't certified. I just started doing it. Okay, so that's the second affordable business you can start that can make 30K a month. And I've actually done this business myself. Okay. Now, the next business is what I call a commercial mobile car wash. Yep, the commercial mobile car wash. And the big thing is that there are millions of well, not millions, there's a few mobile car wash people that go wash individual people's cars. That's too much time for very little money. What I wanted was reoccurring business. And I wanted to target people that had money. For example, when I owned my moving company, one of the challenges that I have is that I had a fleet of trucks and I needed to keep them washed on a regular basis because they had my logos on it. And people would actually call me. Like 20%, 30% of my business came from people seeing our trucks. So, what I thought about is why don't I provide a commercial mobile car wash to all the other moving companies, to all the other businesses that have fleets, like hotels, like restaurants that do catering, like, moving companies. They have all these trucks, rental companies, all this stuff. And guess what, guys? That business just took off like wildfire. That was overwhelming and because it had so much success, I actually stopped doing it because I was making so much money with my other business, with my moving company, because this was the peak of my moving business. Because in the first 3 years, I expanded so much, I grew so much that I was also dabbing in other businesses and just testing it out. And that commercial mobile car wash was an idea that I needed for my own business. So I bought the equipment, the mobile car wash. It didn't cost that much money to start. And after washing my equipment, I bet you there's other moving companies need it. I bet you the hotel, like for example, Gaylord in Texas, one of the accounts that had gotten, and they had like over 100 fleet of cars. They wanted us to wash for them, like 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, and that's a great thing with these commercial mobile deals. Once you set up the accounts, you'll get return customers month to month because I would go up there and I said, look, we'll do a contract. We'll come out here and wash your cars like once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week, and then that will be the amount, the total they will get per month. So we would have a contract for a year and we'd come out there and wash their cars or vehicles 4 times a month, 6 times a month, 8 times, depends on their needs. Okay. And we'll give them a really good deep discount. But again, we would have, a job may take an hour and a half and, they may have 20 fleets because we're just washing the outside because it's not, you don't need to detail cars like, when you do retail. So it's a whole different game and there's not that much competition. So end the story is, man, there was a significant amount of success in it, but I was just blowing up in my moving company that I just said, man, I don't have time to do that. And that was when I reflect back, that was a very dumb move on my part because that business just blew up like crazy. And I was just overwhelmed. And I said, look, I'm making a lot more money with my moving company. Anyways, let's move forward to the fourth affordable business that I personally have started that made 30K a month was flipping motorcycles. Okay, now I got into flipping motorcycles because I bought myself a BMW K1200S. I started loving motorcycles. And I said, well, let me buy a Ducati. And then at that time, I said, I want to get a Ducati at a discount. I don't want to pay brand new for it, because I have all these skills. I know how to negotiate. I know the market. And so what I did is I started targeting people off of Craigslist and giving them low-ball offers to buy their motorcycles. And guess what? A lot of people wanted my 10 grand or 20 grand or 15 grand or 8 grand or 3 grand for these motorcycles. Okay. And so, now some people say, well, this is supposed to be an affordable business. I think that any business of 10K or less is affordable business. A lot of the businesses that I talked about I started with just $100. But flipping motorcycles, you probably need 5 to 10K to flip it. And what I did is I bought motorcycles that I personally wanted to ride, but there were still the audience was first time uh, buyers. Okay, because I was a first time buyer, so I didn't buy like super luxury cars or motorcycles or anything like that. I bought motorcycles that were first time entry buyers, and so I sold each motorcycle, making $2,000 minimum off each motorcycle that I flipped, and I flipped like 14 different motorcycles because I owned it for myself, and I wanted to ride it myself and make money when I sold it versus buying it and taking a hit on it brand new. And so that was a very good business, a good business frame model, which is buying motorcycles from motivated sellers off Craigslist, Facebook, stuff like that, and then turning around and selling it to first time motorcycle buyers. So if you're buying motorcycles that are tailored to first time motorcycle, that's exactly what I did, and I was able to make minimum $2,000 per uh, deal, which is amazing. If you think about, CarMax makes about 2,000 some change off um, a car flip they do. Now, the fifth affordable business that can make you a lot of money, that has made me a lot of money. I've actually wrote a book about this. It's called The New Flip. Bicycle flipping. Now, bicycle flipping is a strategy that I've used as a copy and paste system where I target motivated sellers. I buy their bicycles at a deep, deep discount, and I immediately turn around and sell it at a discount without fixing it up. So I don't do any fixing it up. I do not fix it up. All I do is I'll buy it at a deep discount and I turn around and I sell it for a massive profits very, very quick, what I call warp speed. And the reason I'm able to do that, I go detail in my book, um, is because I target motivated sellers and I sell it below uh, fair market value, which creates significant demand, and I sell it in warp speed. And what that means is sometimes I sold bikes, but I make 5 times, 6 times, 7 times my money in 19 hours or 5 hours or 24 hours or less, okay, or even 2 or 3 days, okay. So bicycle flipping is a really good way that I've created cash flow for myself with just $100, guys. I Most of the bikes that I buy, most of the bikes that I teach my students, and I have students in Great Britain, I have students in Canada, I have students in all the states in America, right? If not all. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people make money out of $50, at $100, $150, and I've seen them turn their money to $500. They put $100 in and sell it for 500. They put $100 in, sell it for 700. Put $100 in and sell it for 300. And very, very quickly, if they decided to do that. So bicycling flipping is fat money, and it's serious, and not that many people know about it. And it's a business that I've created because I like bicycling. I love bicycling, actually. And I thought about how can I help my real estate students when I do coaching for them? How can I help them succeed? Because real estate and flipping bicycles is very similar. You have to find motivated sellers. You have to inspect the property. You have to be able to turn around and sell it. And so there's a lot of similarities to it. And so I created the new flip, aka bicycle flipping, to help my real estate students learn about the business. So when they get into the real estate business, when they get into flipping real estate, wholesaling real estate, they're able to have a higher probability of success because they already know the ropes of bicycle flipping. Now, the next business, what I call the affordable business that you can make 30K a month, is a business that I help a mentoring student. Okay, he actually wrote me a testimonial. You can see it below, where he came into the car business, with very little amount of money, and now he has over millions of dollars in inventory, all cash. Like, he doesn't use the bank; he uses his own cash. And his model and is okay. Before I get into his model, I also want to talk about, guys. I have grown up in the car business. Okay, like my cousins own a car business. My cousin's grandparents own a car business. My uncles own car business. So I have a lot of people in my family that own car businesses. So I've been in the car business for a very, very long time. I don't like the car business, but I've been around dealerships for quite a while, guys. I would say when we first came to America, since the early 1990s. Okay, so I know a lot about the car business. Now, the strategy of car business is that if you're trying to sell any kind of car in the world, then your odds of success are slim. The strategy that I apply to my students in the car business is this. Okay, you have to specialize in something. Let me give you an example. It is better to be specialized Jeep dealer where you specialize in Jeep Wranglers and you know everything about Jeep Wranglers. You know what the best price to buy them at. You know what the best price to sell them at. You know the places to buy the parts at. You have better relationships. You order more in parts so you can get a bigger discount versus trying to sell every car in the world. Another example is that you can specialize in, um, for example, cars, like be the guy that sells electrical cars, or be the guy that just sells trucks or Pacific. So these my students, what they sell is they sell high mileage, high end cars. For example, they sell BMWs, they sell Mercedes. They're like $100,000, but now they have 100,000 miles on them, and you can buy it for 10 grand or less. And that's what they specialize in, and they've done extremely great for them, as you can see in the review he has left me. So flipping cars is very, very lucrative, but a lot of people go bust because they try to be everything to everyone. They don't get a niche. When you get a niche where you just know all the electrical cars, then it gives you supreme um, supremacy, like supersonic in a sense, to know what the good deals are, and know how to jump on it, and know who your audience is, and know how to write sales copy for your audience versus everyone in the world that wants to buy a car. So end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, there are many different ideas to make money in America that requires $100 or less. And I mentioned many in my idea where we started businesses. I personally started businesses with just $100. Okay, I can go on to my real estate brokerage firm. I started real estate brokers with just $100 as well. There's a lot of different businesses that I've started in my you know I've never had a job, never worked for the man. So there's a lot of businesses I've started. There's a lot of failures I had. And there's a lot of wins I had. And just want to share this with you. I haven't been to sell you. Just want to share my ideas with you. And always remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you ever imagined. If you could, hit the like button. Don't take no for an answer. Peace.